I first noticed something was wrong in the summer of 2016 when, out of the blue, my right thigh started violently twitching, and it happened for like a couple of weeks. I was suddenly fired from my job and I had to move back to New York City, and I couldn't get to a doctor because I lost my health insurance. Within the next 2 to 3 weeks, I had fallen multiple times.
Okay. For people who don't know what it is, could you briefly and quickly describe what ALS is for those people who don't know?
Yeah, I mean, I still always try to understand like the medical terminology of it, but the way I see it is pretty mature. Motor neurons are affected, and the signal is lost, going from your body's ability to control the muscle and pretty much feed your muscles and control them. So there's a lot of atrophy that happens. Your body's voluntary muscles start shutting down. And so it's exactly what happened with me. The right leg stopped moving, and it slowly spread to the left leg, up the trunk, and a bit of my shoulder, and upper arms are slightly affected now. And the reason why it's so it's a problem is because usually it affects the respiratory muscles, and a lot of patients, or most patients, will pass away from that because it affects the lungs, and then people die because they're not able to breathe.
So the way that the muscles in your legs are shutting down, the muscles, your lungs will also shut down?
Yeah.
Wow.
Is that good?
Is that how it was?
No, I think you're good.
Yeah, that's it.
I want to go back.
How have you stayed hopeful and optimistic?
Like, how does this disease define you? Like, does it change who you are as a person? And I really had to sit down with that question. Like, whether, and this is before we were able to get the diagnosis. So to really sit on that question was a very critical time for me, that no matter which way it goes, like, am I gonna let this thing that's happening with me define how I live out any time of my life, whether it be till 100 years, or to 1 year or 2 years, like, does it change it? And at the end, I decided, no, I won't. Like, and that's that. Like, I don't need a final answer about how many days I have left or not left. That's not even a question I ask anymore, and it should never be a question that I think you should ask, because again, you don't know what's going to happen anyway, and that really shouldn't decide whether you take full advantage of your days, regardless whether it's giving back to yourself, to others. You should be doing that anyways.
So how would you describe her to people who don't know her?
Stubbornly optimistic. It's because even when I'm not feeling good about even what's going on, she'll be the one, the disciplinarian, be like, why are you guys so upset? She's like, there's not a problem. She's like, I believe, like, in good things, and I believe there are firsts. And like that perspective of like hope and positivity really rubs off. And I'm like, if she's going through that and she's feeling like that, I'm like, who am I to be like crying a river? You know what I mean?
What would you want, what would your message to the world be if you had 1 or 2 or 3 or however many like important things that you think people should know?
To realize that you still have something to offer to the world. One thing that I do push for myself, at least, is that despite being in a wheelchair, I personally don't like when people pity me, and I do hold myself accountable to this world. Like, so it's not all about what people can do for me. It's always still what I can do for others.
If it's stuck on, it's stuck on. I think it might. It's good? It's good. Okay. All right.